We've been talking about this Gene Hackman case for the past couple of days now, and remember how I told you all not to get too hung up on some of the initial details that we got early on in this investigation? Because pretty often, the early details that come out, they change. Investigators get things wrong. And boy, oh boy, did they get things wrong this time. Just about an hour or so ago, law enforcement came out and admitted that they got a key detail totally wrong. Remember how it was reported that Gene Hackman, his wife, and his dog, the German Shepherd, were all found dead? Well, it turns out the dog that they reported was dead was not dead after all, and they just found out that the dog has been in a dog daycare for the past few weeks. So I'm sitting here like, what in the heck? What? How did you misidentify the dog? But apparently, the dog they found dead is a totally different dog, a totally different breed. Now, some people may think, oh, that's not a big deal. It's a big deal to me. It's one thing, let's say if it's me reporting to you all, and I accidentally tell you, oh, it's a German Shepherd when it's an Australian Shepherd. That's one thing. Yeah, I should have done a better job reporting, but I don't think it's going to harm the case overall. These are the investigators, okay? This isn't the media's fault. This isn't anyone's fault who was covering the story. The investigators, law enforcement, got these key details wrong. They're just finding out that the dog they reported was dead is well and alive at a dog daycare and has been for a while. So I'm not as much, really hung up on the fact that they misidentified the dog. Now I'm questioning, what else did they misidentify? If they got this easy detail wrong, what else could they have gotten wrong? Are we really sure there was no foul play here? I don't think there was foul play, but are we really sure? I mean, the dog you said was dead is not even dead. He's alive at a dog daycare. So are we sure that foul play wasn't involved? Are we sure there was no carbon monoxide? Because I would hate to cover this story for weeks on end and then it turned out to be carbon monoxide. The reason I dived into this story is because they kind of took all of those options off the table. That's where the mystery is. If they died of carbon monoxide poisoning, there's not as big of a mystery there. Therefore, these videos are unneeded, but they've told us otherwise. But now I'm questioning everything we've been told because this isn't the first detail that has changed. You guys might remember that it was reported that the dog was found in a closet. And then, the dog's found in a kennel. Then the dog's found in a closed closet. Now the dog's found in a locked kennel. Now the dog's not even the dog that they found. It's just what? But let's go ahead and dive into this article and find out a little more. Gene Hackman cops admit huge crime scene blunder as mystery surrounding actor's death deepens. Cops investigating Gene Hackman and his wife's mysterious deaths have admitted to misidentifying the dog that was found deceased along with them in their home. Police initially said the couple's German Shepherd named Bear was found dead in its kennel inside the home. But the pup was actually alive and healthy at a pet daycare center in Santa Fe along with their other dog, Nikita, a 7-year-old Akita Shepherd mix. The dog that was actually found dead in the home with the couple was Xena, their 12-year-old reddish Australian Kepi mixed breed. Sherry Caber, a friend of the couple, says, Caber, an animal chiropractor, was already thrown off by the news of Hackman and Arakawa's deaths, but when she heard about Bear, she couldn't wrap her head around it. Just 5 months prior, Gaber said she adjusted Bear, who was a happy and healthy dog. I can't handle that image, Gaber said, recalling news of Bear's apparent death. That's why this whole thing is so distressing. It just doesn't add up. Nikita and Bear are both staying at Santa Fe Tales, a local pet daycare, according to Joey Badilla, the owner of the facility. It is unclear how the deceased dog was misidentified, but a spokesperson with the Santa Fe County Sheriff's Office said that she was not aware of the mix-up at all. Our deputies do not deal with canines on a daily basis, and I cannot correctly speak to the condition or the state of the dog's body upon discovery, Denise Womack-Avila says. Gaber said that although she's grateful Bear wasn't the pup that died, it's still a tragic story. My body's just shaking right now, she continued. So, law enforcement didn't know. Okay? Someone had to reach out to law enforcement and tell them, hey, you know that dog that you have on the news that you're reporting dead? That dog's at our daycare. What are you guys talking about? So, law enforcement, I don't want to criticize them because some people will get butthurt if I do, but this gives you an inside look at this investigation and where they're at in this investigation. Okay? And where we're at right now, we're hoping for answers, but where we're at right now, they don't even know the dog that they found dead. They don't know the name, they don't know the breed, they got the wrong dog, and they weren't even aware that they had the wrong dog this entire time until someone had to inform them. Now, if you're checking records and digital footprints of Gene Hackman and his wife, which is what they should be doing right now at this point in the investigation, I would think that eventually they would find out that Gene and his wife had dogs at this doggy daycare. But I feel like this kind of makes this whole situation even more mysterious. Because it's just so weird. We have 2 dogs in a dog daycare, right? Now, usually when looking at this case, I would say that would indicate that Gene or his wife, they were getting ready for something. They were getting ready to leave. Maybe they were getting ready to die. I mean, I don't necessarily want to take it there, but, you know, looking at this case, it's a very weird case, and seeing that they had their dogs up in a dog daycare that's in the same city that they're living in, so it's not like they're going out of town, you know, and they're leaving the dogs there while they go out of town and travel or anything like that. The dogs were just checked into this daycare, and they've been there for weeks. Because you got to remember, Gene Hackman and his wife, they were dead in their home for weeks. Now, I would think that if Gene and his wife were scheduled to pick up these dogs the same day or the next day, that this daycare probably would have kind of, you know, been on alert mode. Like, hey, how come Gene or Betsy, how come they haven't come and picked up their dogs? And the days are going by, over a week goes by, damn near 2 weeks goes by, and no one at this place is curious as to why Gene and Betsy haven't picked up their dogs. And then here we are, what? I can't remember exactly how many days it's been since they originally found Gene. Gene was found on February 26th. It's now March 4th. So for the whole period of time that Gene and his wife were dead and undiscovered inside their homes, these dogs were in the dog daycare. And even for like a week after Gene Hackman and his wife had been found, the dogs were still in the dog daycare and no one said anything until now. So, you know, like I said, looking at this case, usually I would look at this and say, oh, they were preparing for something, preparing for travel, or they wanted their dogs to be taken care of for some reason, right? But then, you know, they have other dogs. We know there were 2 dogs running around the property, and there was the dog that was found dead, which was not the dog that was reported that was found dead. So why they have such a unique situation with their dogs, why they have some in dog daycare, some in a crate, some running around, I don't know, but everyone has, you know, a different way that they handle their pets. All pets are different. All dogs are different. Some dogs don't get along. Some dogs you need to have here. Some dogs you need to have there. Whatever. But it's just kind of weird that there seemed to be some type of, I would like to hear directly from the people at this dog daycare, because were you guys alarmed that the dogs were there for weeks on end and you hadn't heard from the owners? Or were you already like knowing that you were going to have these dogs for a long time? You get what I'm saying here? And if they were having the dogs for an extended period of time, that lets you know that at the very least, they must have been going through something at home. Maybe it was too much for them to take care of at the time. Maybe Jean's health was even worse, or maybe Betsy's health wasn't so great. So they had to kind of take some of the weight off their shoulders by allowing this dog daycare to take care of their pets. Regardless, though, I think there is something to this. The fact that the dogs were in this daycare, I think there's something to this. And the fact that they didn't ring the alarm for weeks on end, it makes you think that this was not a, an afternoon at the dog daycare or a day thing. This had to be an extended type of stay or something along those lines. But hey, who knows, man? But I am glad that at the very least we got this little detail cleared up. And I think there's other details that we need to get cleared up as well. Because, I mean, if you followed this story from the beginning, the story has changed a little bit. There's just been little details that have been tweaked. And seeing this news, it does not make me very confident about this investigation. Like I said, I don't think it's the time to really dig in and start criticizing these people yet. But the little bit of confidence that I had, and I was already iffy about this whole case, the little bit of confidence that I had, it's kind of flown out the window right now because there's too many little details that have changed. And I don't like that, because the details that have changed, I think, are very important when trying to solve this mystery. But for now, let me know your thoughts about this down in the comments below. While you're down there, hit that thumbs up, hit that subscribe, ring that notification bell, and I'll talk to you all very soon in the next one.